You ever have one of those mornings where you're convinced you're living in the only sane house for miles and then the universe just laughs right in your face? That was me, standing barefoot in my kitchen staring at my coffee, when Lisa's voice came crashing through my front window loud enough to rattle the mugs. Not pleading, not asking, but barking orders like she was leading a SWAT team, not our neighborhood's so-called Community Enrichment Committee. This is community property now. Hand over the cabin key or face severe penalties. That's what she said. And you know what? For a second, I almost wondered if she'd lost her mind or just found a new kind of crazy. I was holding a black case marked in heavy white letters. Federal emergency use only. Something I wasn't even supposed to touch, except for routine checks, something Lisa in her wildest HOA fever dreams would never be allowed to see. And here she was in flip-flops and a shirt that read "Wine before 9-9", demanding the key to what she thought was a lakeside party spot, not a classified federal outpost. She had no clue the place wasn't even mine to rent, much less hand over for a pancake brunch with her crew. That cabin looked like a retreat from the outside, but inside it was locked down tighter than Fort Knox, a basement decontamination chamber. Triple-coated locks, secure comms lines, ready to light up if anything ever went wrong in our part of the country. So, yeah, when Lisa charged up, I just set the case down, stepped outside, and said, "Lisa, you need to leave before this gets us both in trouble." She didn't even blink, just smirked and snatched the key right off my belt. Next thing I know, she's swaggering toward the cabin. The lock flashed red, and suddenly a robotic voice boomed out, "Unauthorized access response activated." Right then, it was like everything shifted. The whole scene felt like a bad dream that was about to turn into a nightmare. Now, I'm used to Lisa being a pain. She's filed complaints about my truck, plastered illegal signs along the ridge, even reported my rescue goats to the county. But this wasn't about goats or lawn edges or whatever HOA nonsense she usually obsessed over. This was about power. She wanted her little brunch in my cabin, insisted the lake view made it ideal, and when I said no, firm over and over, she cooked up a special HOA. Meeting drew a big red circle around my property on their extended amenity zoning map and voted to claim it. Only problem: the cabin didn't belong to them, wasn't even within their jurisdiction. It was a federal contingency site, hardened, protected, NDA-signed hell. I wasn't even supposed to mention its real purpose to anybody. But Lisa, she didn't care. She was hungry for a win. That morning, I watched her drag a podium up the slope, clutching her phone, probably live streaming for her 3 most loyal followers. A small crowd followed, most of them there for free pastries, waving awkwardly, while Lisa, still convinced she was starring in some local reality show, pulled a paper from a green folder and boomed, "We, the Crestwood Homeowners Association, hereby reallocate this cabin as community property under Article 9 of our revised covenant." She might as well have tried to annex Canada. I just said, "Lisa, you're half a mile outside your zone. That article doesn't apply." She shot back to her group, "He's obstructing noted in the report." I just walked past her, unlocked the door with my thumbprint, let it seal behind me, and tuned her out. I was too busy disabling the alert and hoping she'd get bored. Spoiler, she didn't. A couple hours later, this guy shows up, tan vest, fake badge, says he's from County Recreational Compliance. Never heard of it, and neither had the real county office when I called. His ID was just a blurry laminate and a smile. He wanted to inspect the cabin for community events. I found him poking at the solar panels. "Leave," I said. He just grinned. Someone's hiding something. That's when I knew Lisa wasn't stopping until she got in, even if it meant risking something way above her pay grade. Now, this is the point where most people would call the sheriff, but ours dodges HOA stuff like it's radioactive. Instead, I used the secure line. 3 transfers later, I'm talking to a calm voice, "Command ready, identify." I gave the passphrase, "Reported the theft and attempted breach." "Understood." "Eyes only, verify, lockdown, standby." 20 minutes later, a black SUV quietly parks a mile down the road. Lisa doesn't notice she's too busy leading a group of HOA clipboard warriors on a self-important inspection tour. She's acting triumphant, voice loud, as if performing for cameras. I just press a button on my phone camera in the tree, focuses on her. She flinches. "What's that?" I tell her. "The start of your costly mistake." I slip inside. She pounds the door, curses, tries the back entrance. No dice. The system kicks in. Panel flashes red, override fails. Unauthorized breach protocol escalation phase 1. Satellite lock kicks in. My emergency line rings, lockout confirmed, require extraction. I say not yet. By the next morning, it's weirdly quiet. I sip coffee by the one-way window, watching the HOA boundary like it's a border checkpoint. Lisa's name is now logged on a federal list I can't erase. By noon, a truck shows up, Crestwood Event Services plastered on the side tables and tents, loaded up speaker towers strapped down. Tom, Lisa's usually invisible husband, hands me a letter from an event company. Thank you for hosting our HOA mixer with my signature, only it's not my signature. He shrugs. Just delivering as two guys unload equipment. Lisa's in the shadows watching, daring me to blink first. I head down to the basement, past the steel beams, DHS trunk in the corner, enter a code, grab a blinking emergency beacon. Lisa comes strutting up at 2 p.m., dressed like an event planner who lost her map. You missed the RSVP, she chirps, but you're welcome. The cabin lounge is our welcome zone. Unlock it soon. I hold up the beacon. You forged my name. You're trying to seize a federal site for a picnic. She tilts her head. You're being dramatic. Zoning says this is shared space. You'll be liable if you resist. I just step aside, let her walk in. She gasps at the view, starts measuring for a podium, then spots the beacon. What's that? A federal response trigger if this site is breached. She laughs. No one's coming for your cabin. I put it down. Touch it. See what happens. She doesn't, but she stays. Her crew hangs signs, balloons, oblivious. At 3:27, I call from the secure line, Ridge Bravo 1 breach, Level 2 request containment review. They log it. Monitoring begins, probably from a satellite. By 4:30, a DJ is wiring up kids running around Lisa, parading like the mayor. Then a caterer, an outsider, pulls me aside. Is this place government-controlled? I worked wildfire recovery on a similar site. I just say I haven't stopped her yet. He warns me, do it before someone gets hurt. By 6, it's a circus lights, snacks, music. Lisa raising a glass, thanking the host, waving the forged permit. I grab the mic. I didn't approve this. This is a federal emergency site. You have 10 minutes to leave or face consequences. The crowd murmurs. Lisa hisses. Play along or regret it. I step back. Activate the beacon. An unmarked black drone sweeps out of the trees, low, silent, not filming, just scanning. Shadows stretch, people get quiet. A teenager whispers, "That's military." Lisa freezes, smile vanishing. The drone hovers, a siren wails. The walls lock down, HVAC shifts. I look at Lisa. Still think you're in control. She's pale, silent. Folks scatter, whispering. Tom shows her a video on his phone. Drone footage, already viral, HOA versus federal cabin. She stammers, "Why would they send a drone over a mixer?" "Because you breached federal infrastructure, forged documents, trespassed. This isn't a picnic." Then the SUV rolls up, gray uniformed agent steps out, badge gleaming. He turns to Lisa. "Are you the individual in breach footage?" She tries to deflect. "Just a misunderstanding, just a gathering." He's not having it. "This is a federal continuity site. You are unauthorized, triggering a level 2 response. Vacate. All equipment is confiscated." She collapses into a chair. Crew starts packing. Drone disappears. Agent nods at me. "Incident contained. Need recertification." I agree. "New codes by tomorrow, perimeter monitoring on," and just like that, the party's over. 2 days later, Lisa's back, only now she's humbled, holding a white envelope, voice almost soft. "I'm apologizing," she says, setting the envelope on a stump. Inside, a notarized letter from the HOA board retracting all claims on the cabin, barring future community events. "I rescinded the event," she adds. "No more mixers. You're off our map. I made a mistake and I'll never live it down." I tell her, "Don't come back uninvited. This isn't just private land. You nearly caused a national incident." She nods, walks off, smaller than before. But here's the kicker. A few days later, my secure line rings. That same agent says footage from the HOA server is circulating, edited to make Lisa look like a peacekeeper. No drone, no confrontation. Video caption, "Civic oversight success." They're issuing takedowns, but I have to verify the cabin status in a federal review. So I present logs, sensor data, audio, everything. Two plainclothes officers nod. Lisa vanishes from the HOA board. No explanation, rumors swirl, maybe a resignation, maybe an investigation. I don't care. The cabin's sealed new codes, nobody's coming back. The ridge is quiet again, just the trees and the hum of something secret under the floorboards. Lisa's downfall became the story her overreach exposed and immortalized by a drone's shadow, now a warning echoing through the grapevine, a story too wild to believe, until it happens right in your backyard. And here's the thing, was I wrong to stand my ground? Or was this just justice in a place obsessed with control? You tell me, leave a comment. Let's see where folks draw the line between community and chaos.